Okay, it's 9 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right, good morning, everyone. Approval of the minutes from our last meeting. They were sent out to us by Sally.
There's one change on there on the motion I made for $4,000. That was supposed to be for all full-time employees.
Anything else?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented, except for the one change.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Heiser, second by Commissioner Kleeman to approve the minutes with the one change as noted. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of agenda. Al, do you have anything to add?
Well, I think when we come to discussion with wages, I'd probably make some comments, so add that on there.
No.
Okay. Craig?
No. No.
Okay. And I would add that Sally had a note here for the North Dakota State Fair representatives. They have a meeting in November, so I'd add that to the agenda. And Cybersecurity Awareness Month, yeah, add that to the agenda. That's all I have. Okay, look for a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Kleeman, seconded by Commissioner Olson to approve the agenda with the additions. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, public comment. We have one public comment. Candace Kleeman.
Just as an example, JDA has 11 or 12 different grant programs and loan programs. It would be nice if we could follow how much is going out from that department, because that's what's going back into the county, and I think people need to know that. But I didn't see it on there unless I need some help working with ClearGov. So I think that would really help in budget discussions. People can't come and ask questions if they don't have the information available. And then I pulled the budget off of the website, and even on there, I have no clue where, well, with Sally's notes, thank you for the side notes, that does help. She did put in where the farmers, or beginning farmers grant is listed in here, but people don't know where the 1.1 to Dunn County Museum went. They don't know where the 900,000 to the Mountain View shooting, they don't know, that sounded bad, shooting range. They don't know where the status is of the Dunn County Roundup money is. People don't know, they can't tell from this. I can see all the totals, but I have no clue where these things are in here. And so I think if we're going to talk transparency, we really need to have a better idea of where things are. And that was supposed to be an easy way to do it. I don't know, Sally can say whether it's possible. I went to the handout you got a year and a half ago, and it says it's possible. I went to their website, it says it won't take any extra work from you. I put all my budgets on Quicken, and I can, in 3 clicks, get graphs and of everything and I don't have to do extra. So that was my big thing for today, is I would like to see that stuff more available. Now, today we didn't get budget information when we came in. I did print the budget and the revenue that was on the website, but I think it's changed. So there again, if this isn't the budget you're dealing with today, how are people going to question it?
It is.
Well, this one that I printed off the website last night says 110 million for budget. Is that what you're at?
Preliminary. So once you do the preliminary, and you go from preliminary to final, that's when the board decides, do they want to make those changes?
Okay, so when they're looking different than we're looking at.
They have both. The preliminary and then.
So I'm not pushing it if it's a lot of extra work for you. But what I understood when he presented on that day was that once you pay your bills, they get divided into the compartments and it goes in.
We have to hand enter it.
You have to hand enter it into each department.
Yep.
Okay, last thing, even to come to this public meeting and ask questions, the only individual department that was put on the website was the Park District. So everything's in totals, and we have no clue. There's no way for me to ask a question. I mean, I saw the park one, and I do have a question on that. 50,000 in each park for projects that they haven't planned yet, I think is a lot of money to leave set unless you guys get preliminary approval on them. But that's the only one I could see. So it's tough to ask questions when you don't have all the information. And I don't know what the easiest way for you guys to do it. If his could go on, I don't know why all of them could go on. So thank you for answering some of my questions. So if it's not easy to do ClearGov for us, does it help you at all in the office or not? Because, I don't know. Okay, and if the department budgets could be put on the website, that would be good. And I did add one thing to my list when I saw the agenda, BLM letter of cooperation for RMP. That is the resources management plan. And I went back to the minutes and listened to the meeting, and you said you were doing more research and then going to decide this time. That is one of my pet peeves, is that we can't get unofficial minutes. So people who deal with BLM knew it was discussed last time, because until they see this, they don't know.
But you can watch it on
Yes.
video. It's recorded, so you can watch the meeting.
Right. But I have watched the entire meetings, and sometimes it is really hard for us to find time. People are working, they have stuff at home. If you knew that RMP or that BLM was on there for something, you would buzz through the meeting and find it.
Well, I
It is
got
a
in
very
touch with all
time-consuming.
53 counties, and out of all 53 counties, 2 of them published unofficial minutes, and that is only because they have meetings once a month
Okay,
to get them out.
I just feel that it would be nice to have it, but thank you.
Thank you, Candace. I believe there were no other requests for public comment. So we'll move into the engineer and road department reports. And Carl.
Good morning.
Morning.
Carl.
Just a few things to update on today. 92nd Avenue, I have been able to make contact with a few of those landowners. I do have some meetings set up, one today and one later this week, so should have a pretty good idea where we stand on that project by the end of the week. 12th Street, just working on getting some meetings for easements set up as well, putting together some final agreements. 16th Street Southwest, pretty much just working on permitting on that project. We did regrade around the cultural site, as I had mentioned previously, so we're working on getting those permit documents through for that project. We'll begin obtaining easements this fall on that one. 20th Street, our preliminary design has been completed. We're just working to get permitting on that project as well. 86th and 9th, not a lot of work here in the recent weeks on that one, but we are beginning to get the permit information put together and start looking at our impacts on that project. 98th Avenue Southwest, we did modify our grading to reduce our impacts to the wetlands along the project, so we're finalizing those new permit documents to resubmit to the Corps. Any questions so far? Moving kind of quick.
So,
2026 projects, we did complete the field surveys on the 94th Ave and 79th Ave projects. We are waiting on the cultural and environmental reports for those two projects. I am working on scheduling the environmental and cultural surveys for 14th Street. We have started preliminary design on 94th and 79th. During the 500 or 600 feet to the west, there's about 4 culverts along there, and I did go out and look at them. And they are sunken into the ground about 2 feet on their ends. The ditch is silted in that much over time, but either way, it's kind of something maybe the county should look at addressing as well. I think we could add those pipes potentially to the project if there's no objection from the commission to that. And we wouldn't do any road work in that area. We would just look at upgrading those culverts and just having them replaced as part of the project as well, if that's something you want to do. And
I think it would only make sense if we're there, you know, we're right there and we got a contractor there, just include it in part of the project.
And I'll get with Terry as well, and maybe if he wants to look at them and see that he agrees or not, so.
how big are the pipes?
They're so far in the ground. I think they're 24-inch culverts, and there's kind of 4 in a kind of long flat stretch that are probably 50 feet apart from each other. But yeah, water gets into them, I'm sure, but it takes a pretty good water to get it built up and out of there, I think, again, so. Okay, that is all I had for you guys today. Any questions for me?
Questions? Thank you, Carl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carl.
Morning, Commissioners.
Hey, good morning.
Got some updates too. So we'll start with 119th. So we're kind of getting the same response from CSI. They say that they're trying to assemble a crew to get the project started, but they're still stuck on I-94 due to rain. They're planning an early October start date, which is obviously here now, but the project does have a November 1st completion date. Again, they can crank out a lot of work in a short amount of time, but I guess I wouldn't be surprised if we run into an LD situation or some sort of penalization to consider, at least. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind here too. So questions on 119th?
So, you know, if they start, depending on weather, what they can finish, but would they just take, you know, say the east-west portion, and that's before they open up the whole thing? You know, I mean, that makes sense, I would think.
And you're right, Madam Chairman. If they are going to get started on something, what we certainly don't want them to do is rip open the road and then leave it all winter to be, you know, a big mess. So until we actually get an official go, then we'll all maybe meet and with the road people and with Terry as well and kind of figure out an actual plan, because, you know, anytime you're getting into November, you're kind of living on borrowed time in North Dakota. It could storm any day. So.
In the contract, is there like a 2-mile limit finished?
Sure, yep.
So at least you could hold them into that.
Yep. Again, and when CSI puts their horses out there, they can get probably in my experience with working contractors, they can get a lot of work done in a short amount of time, but again, you're gonna have to watch them too, because they're gonna be in a hurry, so.
You have to get there first.
Yeah.
How long of a project is that one?
What is the total length on that one? Is it 3-4 miles?
3, a little over 3 probably.
Right, somewhere in that range, so,
I'll last for a month.
right. So they do have, the county's graveling that one as well, so that's a little bit of time that takes off their plate, but again, it's work, and they gotta get out there to start it, so. Further discussion? Okay, so on 99th, you're probably all aware that we're advertising that project. The bid opening is going to be October 15th at 10 a.m. Project has a December 6th of 2025 completion date, so it will be tentatively completed this year, and we're getting a lot of interest on prime contractors. I think a lot of people want to knock out one more project before the winter sets in here, so.
Question on that, Darren, if, let's just say, we get started and it could be possible we could really get wintered in, so.
Sure.
I mean, are we gonna hold our feet to the fire, with the completion date when we know we can't do it? That's some questions I have had, I mean, just.
Sure.
We don't know, we can't predict the weather, but I'd hate to hold them to that completion date and we're wintered in. So I think it's probably at that time, this board need to make a decision how we're gonna deal with it,
I would agree, Commissioner Heiser.
so they know.
Sure.
Otherwise, what could happen is they could, so we got a December completion date and they'll probably plow in a lot of overtime to get it to there, so.
Sure.
There were some of the issues that can come up. Thank you.
So like on a project like that, when we're bidding it late and then having, a pretty quick completion date, it's a little different than say 119th where they've had all summer to. So I guess there would probably be more of a justification for leniency if weather hit 99th than 100, but I guess that's my opinion. But
Thank you.
further discussion? Okay, the next one that we have is Manning. So members of Manning Waterworks, Dunn County Road Department, and ourselves, we had that easement collection and had kind of an open forum for questions last week on the 25th, Thursday. Meeting was well attended. We had several easements that got signed and collected. The remaining easements are currently being gathered. Preliminary set of plans has been submitted to the Department of Environmental Quality. And barring any large changes from the DEQ or right-of-way issues, if somebody doesn't sign, we anticipate bidding this project yet by the end of the year. Construction in the spring. Questions on that? Hearing none. For 2025 projects, so for 3rd Street, Superintendent Schwarzenberger and I, we met with one of the landowners on the project last week here regarding that alignment shift. And I think we have her all on board again now. It's our understanding that this project's now going to be pushed till 2027. Well, we're still collecting right away on it, but we're going to shift all of our focus on 7th Street project that is going to be, or planned to be built next year. And that's the 101st to 97th. So one of the things too that's been popping up is, and I'm not sure if any of the other consultants, when you're getting your 404 permits now, it seems like they're all expiring in March of this next year. Before they were open for a longer duration. So on something like this, we're going to have to file for an extension. I don't know what that all entails, but I'm guessing they're going to come out with some new regulations, and that's probably why they're putting a termination date on those. Like our 99th permit that we just got expires in March as well. And we just got that a couple months ago, so it wasn't even a full year. So just kind of something to keep in the back of your minds. 7th Street, 97 and 94th. Beaver Creek is working on the cultural issues with that as well. And again, that's a 2027 construction. So it's not as imperative, but they're hammering through that. Our 7th Street, 101 to 97th, we did get the permit on that. And again, that one expires in March as well. We'll concentrate all of our right-of-way efforts on that now that we have 99th all wrapped up. Any question on any of those? Okay.
27 project for that, is that going to take all this whole next year to get it put together?
No, I think we'd be able to get it fired out. I think a lot of our design is already finished. It's just a matter of, so if you secure right away, then you have temporaries that expire after a year. So do you want to pay that, or then you're actually going to pay for another year if you're not going to build it? And then the same thing with the permits, although, you want to get your permits as soon as you can. I don't think there's going to be much to an extension. Just I think it's just going to be a matter of, writing into the Corps and saying, hey, they're not building it this year. We'd like to do it in 2027. What do we have to do? And I would hope that it's nothing extensive and they haven't changed all the rules to where they're making you jump through a whole bunch of hoops. But I guess that remains to be seen. Good question, though. Any further questions? So last item is just on the 2026 projects. If you remember on that too, we do have the preliminary alignment. Beaver Creek compiled a letter to the landowner. So on the project on the north end there on 115th. Still haven't heard back from her. Kind of going back and forth on her with that, and I'll keep you updated. She's been kind of hard to track down. She's in Arizona and then kind of was on vacation, but I've been sending her texts very regularly and it's trying to wait and see, I guess. So questions on that?
I believe so.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you.
Morning.
Morning, James.
I'll be pretty brief too. 27th Street, major operations are complete. Erosion control is at approximately 70 completion date. 109th, kind of just a placeholder there. We're in a holding pattern. Completion date. 109th, kind of just a placeholder there. We're in a holding pattern until we get some buy-in from some of the residents there. 82nd South is kind of in the same process right there, waiting for some buy-in on those landowners. And on North Segment, plans have been submitted to the road department for review. Have some design changes to make over the next few weeks before we can finalize easement documents to continue landowner talks out there.
Okay.
Any questions on those?
Any questions? Guess not.
Nope. Good.
Thank you, James.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Highlands.
Morning, Commissioners. Andrew Schrank with Highlands Engineering. Two projects to update you on today. The first is our design project on 15th Street Southwest and 118th Avenue Southwest. We're currently still waiting for the cultural resource study to be completed and back to us before we continue with that design. Just trying to prevent getting too far into design before we know what the impacts of that study might be for that project. Our construction engineering project on 14th Street Southwest. Construction is complete on that. We did do a drive-through with Mr. Pelton and Mr. Schwarzenberger a few weeks ago. The contractor has addressed everything that we identified in that drive-through. So we're working through final quantities with the contractor to wrap up that project. We do have two documents before you for that job. The first is change order number 1. This is for the amount of $11,560.52. This includes a time extension for the project, some changes to the erosion control. We switched out some seed to alfalfa as requested by the contractor, and as requested by some landowners, and we updated some of the erosion control blankets from a type 1 to a type 3. And then there's some miscellaneous changes in there as well, some grouch for the box culvert that was supplied by the county, and then some changes that were requested by landowners to some access roads as well. So that change order is in front of you for your consideration.
Madam Chairman, I move that we pay change order number 1 in the amount of $11,560.52 to Schwartz Construction.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Pelton, seconded by Commissioner Kleeman to approve pay estimate, change order number 1 in the amount of $11,560.52. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes, the motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners. The other document is payment application number 6. This payment application is for the amount of $553,679.75. We recommend approval. This should be our second to last payment application for this project. We are working through a few seating discrepancies and things like that with the contractor, so we'll have one more payment application to wrap this project up. We don't expect that one to be for a huge dollar amount, so we should end up roughly 10% above the original contract price. The majority of that was due to the amount of rock excavation and muck excavation on this project. So that's why that's a little bit more than the original contract price. So we do recommend approval of that payment application.
Madam Chairman, I move that we pay app number 6 for the amount of $553,679.75 on 14th Street to Schwartz Construction.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Pelton, second by Commissioner Heiser to approve pay app number 6 for $553,679.75 to Schwartz Construction. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson? Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes, the motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
One other thing in your, with the time extensions or anything, we have to act on that at all, or are they past the completion date, or?
They were past the completion date. That would extend it out so that there would be no damages on the project. So by approving that change order,
Okay.
we essentially waived all damages on the project.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Morning, Jeremy.
Good morning.
Morning, Jeremy.
So we have prepared several pay estimates to review and potentially approve.
Which second to BBI.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Pelton, seconded by Commissioner Kleeman to approve pay estimate number 4 in the amount of $7,168.69 to Bronco Brothers. Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson? Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes, the motion carries.
Next pay estimate to review is on the 105th Avenue project from 25th Street to 19th Street. That project should wrap up in the next couple weeks, I would imagine. What we have prepared is pay estimate number 10. The amount is $196,718.64, which we would recommend payment to Bronco Brothers for that project.
Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to pay Bronco Brothers estimate number 10 for $196,718.64.
Motion by Commissioner Heiser, second by Commissioner Olson to pay pay estimate number 10 in the amount of $196,718.64 to Bronco Brothers. Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson? Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes, the motion carries.
Next pay estimate or next project is 98th Avenue and 4th Street Southwest in the Dunn Center area. That is being built by Bechtold Paving. We have prepared pay estimate number 2. The amount is $95,812.03, which we would recommend payment to Bechtold Paving for that project.
Madam Chairman, I'd move that we pay estimate number 2 on 98th Avenue Southwest in the amount of $95,812.03 to Bechtold Paving.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion? So motion by Commissioner Pelton, second by Commissioner Dalzell to pay estimate number 2 in the amount of $95,812.03. Any discussion? We'll have roll call vote.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes, the motion carries.
Next project to review is 97th Avenue. That's being built by Jensen Brothers Construction. We have a pay estimate number 8. The amount is $16,329.13, which we would recommend payment to Jensen Brothers Construction.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to pay estimate number 8 in amount of $16,329.13 to Jensen Brothers for 97th and 11th to 8th Street.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Heiser, second by Commissioner Pelton to pay estimate number 8 in the amount of $16,329.13 to Jensen Brothers Construction. Any discussion? We'll have a roll call vote.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes, motion carries.
Next project we've been working on is Pinewood Meadows, the subdivision paving by south of New Raddick. We have a pay estimate number 1. The amount is $111,117.26, which we would recommend payment to Northern Improvement Incorporated for that project. Oh yeah, they have the subgrade pretty much built. They've been working about a week and a half on site.
Report the construction's about to begin, so I was curious what the $100,000 was covering.
I was out there the other day,
Yeah.
looking pretty good, and this dry weather really helped that project, especially being in everybody's front yard. So,
Madam Chairman, I move that we pay estimate number 1 in the amount of $111,117.26 to Northern.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Pelton, seconded by Commissioner Kleeman to pay estimate number 1 in the amount of $111,117.26 to Northern Improvement. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson? Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes, the motion carries.
Next project is 10th Street Northwest, 113th Avenue Northwest, and 7th Street Northwest, combined into one project. We do have pay estimate number 2 is for materials on hand. There really hasn't been a whole lot of on-site construction work, but it is being built by Bronco Brothers Construction, which we would recommend pay estimate number 2 for $202,638.99 for materials on hand.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to pay estimate number 2 for the amount of $202,638.99 to Bronco Brothers for 10th Street project.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Heiser, second by Commissioner Pelton to approve pay estimate number 2 in the amount of $202,638.99 to Bronco Brothers for the 10th Street project. Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson? Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes, the motion carries.
Okay, last pay estimate we have is for 3T Street in JR's industrial subdivision, being built by Wind Construction. We are recommending pay estimate number 3. The amount is $373,373.22.
Madam Chairman, I move that we pay estimate number 3 in the amount of $373,373.22. I challenge our engineer to ever come up with them numbers.
Right. I don't make the numbers up.
I'll second that motion.
Produce them.
Second. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was motion by Commissioner Pelton, seconded by Commissioner Heiser to pay estimate number 3 in the amount of $373,373.22 to Wind Construction. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes, the motion carries.
So I think that was the pay estimates. I think we processed 7 of them, so I appreciate that. As far as the design project, I'm going to kind of lump those together. Still trying to get easements, trying to get a couple, 3 projects bid this calendar year yet for 2026 constructions, depending on how the budget situation works out. But we're going to get at least 2 or 3 bid this year is what our intention is. Inactive projects, we haven't really done anything with those, so we're just going to not mention those. As far as miscellaneous projects, just a couple of small projects will be extended.
I don't believe,
105th and 106th Avenue out there. 105th and 106th Avenue out there. And we recommend approval for that.
Madam Chairman, I move that we approve the utility permit as presented.
Second.
motion by Commissioner Pelton, seconded by Commissioner Kleeman to approve the utility permit as presented. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Terry.
And then just a reminder, Scoria Days is happening this weekend. And then next Friday as well, so. And then I'd like approval, see if we get approval for out-of-state travel for the regional road conference in Sioux Falls that we usually go to, October 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
How many are planning to go? Are you planning to take?
Well, there would be 4 employees and 2 commissioners, I believe.
So we need a motion to approve.
Madam Chair, make a motion for out-of-state travel for the road conference in Sioux Falls.
There a second? I'll second the motion. Okay, motion to approve out-of-state travel for road employees to the annual road conference in Sioux Falls. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And then I guess just a little update, our lead operator, Ryan Schleppenbach in Halliday, is decided to move on. So after 16 and a half years, he's moving on, and wish him the best.
Thank you.
That's-
So I have just a question, maybe it's for you guys. When Jeremy mentioned the section line staking, what's that?
There's two small
Oh,
projects.
we have a small project on 100th Avenue,
Okay,
and one on 26th Street starting as well right now.
okay. Okay, any other questions for Terry?
Nope.
Not, thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Okay. Sign this before we forget. There we go. Okay. So the North Dakota State Fair representatives, I'd added that to the agenda. Sally had given me a letter that she received from the State Fair manager. We're allowed to have 2 delegates to attend the North Dakota State Fair annual meeting. It's held in Minot in, doesn't say when, on November 18th. So I guess I would probably recommend that Kirsten maybe reach out to some 4-H reps to see who, in the past, Derek and Amy Dukart have gone, or Angie, I should say. So it's up to us to appoint, but we could have the extension office maybe reach out to, a couple people that'd be interested, and we would have time to appoint them at the next meeting. But just wanted to bring that to your attention because we do have delegates to represent Dunn County.
We've usually set some, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I know Angie and Derek have gone in the past, and, they can reach out to see if they'd be interested again, so. Okay. That. The BLM letter of cooperation for the resource management plan.
I got word back from Christina and Pat, and they would like to hold off on becoming a member at this time. We did get some information back from them via email. Christina has gone over the email, and she would like to wait at this point before becoming a cooperation member.
Any discussion on that? We can leave it on the table, deal with it down the road. The sheriff's office
For the sheriff's department, where they can work overtime.
program.
I'll move to approve the state overtime funding agreement for the
Second.
sheriff's office.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Olson, second by Commissioner Pelton to approve the state overtime funding agreement. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. I mentioned the cybersecurity awareness. So I just have a note here to read, just to bring awareness to cybersecurity. So October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Let's stay vigilant. In 2023, North Dakota experienced 764 reported cyber crimes, resulting in average losses of $17,713 per victim and a total of $17 in losses per resident. The state ranked 41st nationally for these financial losses, which are estimated to be higher due to underreporting. County employees and residents, please be alert for phishing emails, suspicious links, and unsecured websites. Protect your personal information, use strong passwords, and report any unusual activity. Together, we can keep our community safe online. Good information. Okay, get that taken care of. Financial report, Sally?
All right, so in September, we have been receiving roughly average of $3 million a month for our GPT tax. In September, we received 5 million, so that kind of boosted us up a little bit on our projected amount of 38 million. Right now, we're at 78.3% of that. We've received $29,758,172. So we have 3 more months and we have 8.2 million to go to reach our projected amount. So that was good. And then our September bank balances, we will roughly end September with $117 million.
Any questions for Sally? Why don't we take a little break here? Or are you ready for a break, or should we go on?
Scheduled at 10.
Yep. That'll take a while.
We should wait till, take a break and.
Yep.
Tracy.
Yep. Sure. Sure. Yep. Okay. I didn't know, usually if that'll be fine. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We'll wait. Yeah. Okay. Desi, are you able to come up now? And if we can't finish our discussion, we can continue after.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Desi.
Last week at the workshop, I presented the same information that I'm going to present today. We are still in the process of a salary survey, but I did have updated information at that workshop. What that information shows at this time is that our pay scale is running about 20% above market. And what I am coming to you today for is to see if there's any questions regarding the information that was given, and then also to ask the board to make a decision as to whether you want our pay scale to remain on market or if you want it to lead market at all. And if so, to what percent? Does anybody have any questions for me?
Well, I'd just like to say that when we met for the workshop, it was very informative, gave me a little bit better understanding. I think we'd all agree that it was good information. I would like to see us, as far as the pay scale, leading market, because we have to compete with the oil industry. And I think, maybe the question is how much, but I'd like to say that it would be in our best interest to lead market on our pay scale. So, I don't know, other thoughts?
Yeah, I guess I think leading market is a good spot to be. I think 20% above market might be a little on the high end though. I don't know, 10%, somewhere in that range, leading market. I think it'd probably be a good goal to shoot for maybe.
So by leading market, and if we don't increase by the COLA, next year it will be less.
It would be
correct?
lower, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. So depending on what the board decides, if you want to lead market but at a lower percentage, we would just not apply whatever COLA is granted to the pay scale so that market would catch up. We would need to do another salary survey in later 2026 to determine how much it moved us to where you want to be. And then at that time, there might need to be an adjustment made if it didn't move enough.
So we can't really decrease it. I mean, like, just say, we want it at 10% and then.
You can do
You
that,
can't-
yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Any thoughts? Individuals pay.
All it is saying the pay scale's gonna stay right where it's at, it's not gonna go up.
Individuals pay.
All it is saying the pay scale's gonna stay right where it's at, it's not gonna go up, down, or otherwise for next year.
So there's no raises for,
No, it has nothing to do with that.
okay.
No, what this is generally we apply COLA to our pay scale, which means we apply it to the mid-range, and then that moves our minimum and maximum. So we would not apply COLA to our mid-range this year. It wouldn't affect wages at all.
It's just the pay
This is-
scale
yeah,
itself.
the salary range that job description would be falling under.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, we'll have a roll call vote.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton? Commissioner Kleeman? Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes, the motion carries.
That is all that I
That's
have.
all you have.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess what I'll do is I'll talk about when we change the agenda. I think that for this coming year, or is, I don't know if we have to modify the commission, the meeting, motion that was made last.
We'd have to rescind it and start over, or
You can amend it.
amend it, however
Well,
that could be.
Okay, I want to amend the motion to pay each employee of the county, full-time employees, $1.50 per hour. New hirees within the last year, 75 cents, and the part-time employees in 75 cents. And the reason I say that is because, our insurance rates have gone up $2,000 a year, and I think the county has picked that up. And by that $1.50 an hour, I think it will keep us right into where our preliminary budget was. That'd be my motion.
So there's a motion on the table. Is there a second? Is there a second?
I would second that.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any discussion?
I guess.
I'm saying that doesn't do anything about what's on the table already. I mean, what we approved.
So do we,
It's not clear. I guess, and the other thing, I'm just hearing this without having a chance to look at what that does, I don't think it's, I don't think it would be prudent to make a decision without us as commissioners knowing what that effect is. I mean, you just brought it up now. I have no idea what that would do.
well, after the last meeting, that there was some confusion, and I think we had our meeting, and we got to need to figure out how we're going to keep our budgets a little bit lower, and I think this is a good chance. I mean, if you figure it out, the $2,000, almost $1 an hour, plus the $1.50 for the merit or COLA or whatever you want to call it, the raise, that's $2.50 an hour, so.
But
I mean-
still, I don't, I guess I don't like to make a decision like that without knowing
Well,
exactly.
It's right here. It shows you what
What's the
we're paying.
total- Yeah, what's the total dollar amount? How
Well-
does that, I mean, I understand your point, don't get me wrong, I understand your point, but
And this is erasing the 4,000.
Yes.
needs to state that, I guess, and.
That's why I asked at the beginning how I need to make this motion. So, I mean, if I need to make that motion, it replaces the previous motion, add that to my motion. But this is what I'd like to see.
Okay, I got a couple questions. Is that still longevity?
That is just $1.50. There's no merit COLA, it's just an increase in wage.
No longevity?
No, longevity, I don't want to get messed in with that. This is just for the increase in wages for the year.
So this would cover COLA and merit for 26.
And we paid insurance and longevity.
Yep.
Insurance and longevity, but everybody would get $1.50 raise versus the $4,000 that you moved last week, or last meeting.
Plus the 4,000?
No.
Oh, my 4,000 would be out.
Yep.
4,000 be out, it'd be $1.50 across the board for everybody. And what that does is it would bring us back into our budget numbers. All the departments would fall into budget with $1.50 raise on there.
And then 75 cents for
And then 75
part-time
for-
employees. Yep, and then for the hired within the last,
So someone that we determine makes $60,000 a year, you know, are we going to keep them at 60,000 or is COLA going to bring them at, you know, 58,000 for their salary? So that decision doesn't have to be made today. We do have the merit in place and that process is going forward. So I don't know why we're, you know, the COLA and the merit's built into our budget already. 4,000 was over what was built in. You know, there's no question about that. So,
that's why the $1.50 falls within our preliminary budget numbers, so.
yeah, I understand that, but again, it doesn't work well with our ranges and pay scale because it's applying it across the board, and I don't think it's a good practice.
I really think this next year before the 1st of June, we need to sit down and go through our pay schedule, our hiring policies, and take a really good look at this, because I have no idea how this is all working. And I think we need to sit down. We had a workshop. We need to have another one and find out just how this stuff works. And yeah, I thought my 4,000 was pretty generous. I guess, whatever, just the motion, vote on it and see where it goes.
Any other discussion? We'll have roll call vote.
Madam Chair, can I verify the motion? Was it $1.50 for full-time employees?
Yes.
New hires in the last year, $1, and then 75
No.
for part-time
Oh, 75 cents for the, within the last year.
or part-time?
Part-time.
To modify last meeting's motion then.
Yes, I have it was to modify last meeting's motion and remove the $4,000 and then to amend it by offering each full-time employee $1.50 an hour, each new hire in the last year 75 cents an hour, and each part-time person 75 cents an hour. Is that
So-
correct?
Yep. And you still get their longevity.
And keep longevity.
So we should have a motion on the amendment because you need to approve the amendment before you approve the full motion. I mean, that,
So we need to move to
so,
make an
I mean, I
amendment.
think this is very complicated on how it was done.
I think this motion pretty much eliminates the other one. Says it does anyway.
Our state's attorney's up there listening. Let's get his legal opinion.
What's the specific question, guys?
Motion was made last meeting for a $4,000 increase, and today we've changed it. So do we have to rescind that motion and accept a new motion?
You can
Or
either
can we
do
just
that-
modify it?
You can either do that, or you can simply make a motion to modify.
That's, okay. That's what we did. Thank you.
Discount is modified.
You bet.
Yes, it's a modifying. Okay, we'll have roll call vote.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson? Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dolzall?
No, the motion carries. Can't really move on. Want to do vouchers? The vouchers were sent out to you, and you have a copy before you.
I have a question probably for the sheriff. This $70,000 for new sheriff car vehicle maintenance, what was that for?
Al, I'm sorry, that will move to Fund 40. That is when the sheriff buys new vehicles, they need to get outfitted by Guardian Safety with the cage and the lights and all the radio and equipment that goes in it. So that will move to Fund 40, and that's already been in the budget.
Okay, so that is for one car?
That is for one car, yep.
70. $70,000 of, well, 70. Right.
Just a question, we got Broken Spoke in here. How did our auction go? I didn't-
We did very well. We did roughly 171,000. So we did pretty good.
What did the Humvee sell for?
71.
71, was it?
70.
Oh, 70.
100? Yeah.
There's always two crazy people at an auction sale and one sitting beside me.
Oh, yeah. Did he get it?
Didn't get it, no.
Oh,
So we, most of everything got sold and
Yep. We didn't have any vehicles or equipment left. It all went.
I think the Humvees we paid $1 for?
I think so.
They were almost.
Yep.
That was a good investment.
did it bring, were we up close to market value or did we just get rid of it?
We're close, you're probably a couple grand later.
Where's 2K Electric out of? Is that someone or local? Oh, it is, okay. I didn't know that's what he called his business.
Terry, this Butler Machinery one for 78.
For their building, remember, we have to go through the JDA, so we pay the JDA quarterly for the food pantry's rent until their building is up. And then JDA pays the rent, or pays them, so they can pay the rent.
So, in the weed department, the West Shore Services labor for sirens, what would that be for sirens?
That is what Sarah brought last week.
Oh, but is that the weed department?
I believe they did some maintenance over there.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But it's actually, should be emergency management budget?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine.
Right? Any other questions on the vouchers?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to pay the October 1st bills as presented.
There's a second. Motion by Commissioner Heiser, seconded by Commissioner Olson to pay the vouchers as presented. Any other discussion?
Madam Chairman, I got one question. We got Ross and Dean getting $2,213 for,
That is for some legal books that Ross had when we were there, and he doesn't actually use them. Those are books that come here to Christina. It was how the bill was set up. So he pays for them and we reimburse him. And in October, that will stop and we will start getting paid since he left and is now with Mackenzie.
Okay.
So any other questions? Not, we'll have a roll call vote on the vouchers.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson? Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes, the motion carries. Now, it's 10:09. Are we okay to move forward? Carolyn?
Hang on a second, Eugene, I want to give a nice speech for you. So, I don't really know how to do that. Should I sit and
Sure.
explain first? Okay.
Pull the microphone up, yeah.
So for 7 years, Eugene Dutenhofer has been driving our veterans van. He started in February 8th, 2018, and the last time he drove for us was in July of this year. So after 7 faithful years, he's retiring from this role as our Dunn County Veteran Service van driver. He's been more than just a driver. For many of the veterans that he drove, he's become a friend and is very trusted by them. He is someone we've been able to count on through rain and shine, and even he's, logged countless miles for us and even made longer trips down to Fort Meade, to Fargo. He even took a veteran and his spouse to Minneapolis one time for us. So he often adjusts his schedule so that he could accommodate all the veterans and kind of, arranged his plans around our schedule. He also made time for the veterans when he did take them. He would sit down and have lunch with them and make those occasional stops at Walmart when they needed one quick little thing. The thing that people will remember most about Eugene is how friendly he was. He was a very kind and patient driver for all of the veterans. And he treated everyone with that respect and that kindness that made them feel very special. So please help us celebrate Eugene and his retirement. His kindness, dedication, and thoughtfulness has left a lasting mark on our veterans. We have this plaque made for you, Eugene. It's got your van on it. Yeah, it's still out here. Yep. Thank you. Yes, he drove 9,000 miles with that.
Awesome. Thank you, Eugene.
Thank you. I think you're going to be hard to be replaced.
I'm good. I got the real deal. So with that, let's take our break and help celebrate with Eugene.
The only problem I see now with Eugene not having a job, he's gonna be in trouble all the time.
So our estimated ending balance for 2025 is going to be roughly 112 million. Our estimated revenue for 26 is 47 million. So combined, we're going to have $159 million. We need to bring that down. We've already been told by our auditors and the state auditors we have too much surplus, so we need to bring that down. If we go ahead and stick with the budget that we have now, our preliminary budget, with a couple of the changes that we'll go over, we will end the year 2026 with $72 million. That's a good place for us to be. We're going to bring down some of our surplus or excess, whatever you want to call it, so we are not spending in a deficit. If you spend in a deficit, you're spending money you don't have. We do have the money. So I just want to make that perfectly clear before we move forward.
All right, so is there anyone here wanting to speak to the county budget? Any comments?
I guess I need to understand this better. We've got to get our surplus and our CDs and stuff down, right?
The CDs are all a part of the total,
Yep.
but the surplus, the excess is what we need to get down.
Okay.
Because if we don't get our surplus down, then what happens is the state auditors and our auditors that come annually and do our federal and state audit, that information goes to the federal and state, and what they're thinking then is, well, we have too much money, we're not spending it like we should be. So then what happens is when it comes time for our oil and gas, federal mineral monies, all that kind of extra stuff, that's what gives them the power to say, hey, well, these counties have too much money anyways. So by spending some of our surplus or our excess down, that puts us in a way better place.
Okay, without spending that, where is our deficit? Without putting that in there, what's our deficit right now?
We don't have a deficit.
I thought we had a $30 million deficit.
We have a difference between the expenditures and the revenue, but like I just explained, it's not a deficit because you want to spend some of your surplus. A deficit means you're spending money you don't have. We're not doing that. We're spending an excess of oil and gas revenue, which is what we need to get down.
So the last couple of years, we should have been spending that money instead of.
You like doing projects for the cities, like what we're doing with Halliday and Dodge and Dunn Center and Killdeer. Those are the kinds of things that we've been working on.
So, if I may,
Yes.
the Century Code says we can carry over 75% of our budget. So just for instance, if we have $100 million, $100 million budget, we can carry over 75 million. So that's kind of the reasoning behind if you have too much, you're not meeting the Century Code requirements or law. And we've kind of been okay over the year. One of the things, transferring money to the Road and Bridge Fund, like we do the oil and gas money, $30 million transfer from general fund to Road and Bridge kind of helps with that. But like Sally said, the auditors have been looking at what we're doing.
All right, so if no one has questions, we'll just move on. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so you did the same thing last year, right?
The online people.
Okay, my question is, so in 2025, you did the same thing, right?
So, yeah,
You took in 56,000, you had a budget of 90,000, so you used.
we're using
34.
surplus,
Okay,
yes.
so you used 34%
Yeah,
of that.
and most of that is transferred to road and bridge to
Okay.
support the road projects.
And so this year, when you do the $110 million budget, you will take approximately another 40 million out of that 117.
Right, and if you just let me go on with the budget, we are actually down to 87 million.
Oh, okay.
Because you have the preliminary budget, so we'll go down. There is a copy back there, Candace, of
Okay.
the
Well, I
final.
might have picked it up. Okay, so you were at 117 and you're going to be at 70. So if your budget stays at 87 million though, and you can only keep 75%.
That's 75% of the general fund expenditures, so we'll be fine.
Okay. The other thing, and this is just a procedural question because I don't understand it, like when you approve the public safety building,
Mhm.
okay, that's a 20 million plus or whatever. Is that money pulled aside and put away, or when you meet in December and approve the bids, does it become a part of the budget and it's not in here yet?
No, there will be some, so the beginning fund balance, what we have left over, and then the beginning fund balance, we'll take that projected amount and it'll carry over.
Okay, okay, so you had it in the budget, it will just carry over to this year's budget, but it doesn't show on this year's budget.
It will, it'll show on the federal or on the capital projects.
It shows it here, 19,237.
Yeah.
37,000.
Okay, so that will be basically the whole. Okay.
Yes, and it's not it will be, so what happens with that, Candace, is you don't spend it all in one year either. So it'll
Yeah.
be some in 25, 26, and then the final in
But it is
27.
stored, so it doesn't
Yep.
bite us
Yep.
later.
Exactly.
And that's not train of thought. One more question. Must not have been important. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How about our road projects set up? I mean, if we don't get them completed, is that money set aside to finish them?
It carries over, yes. So each fund has a carryover balance. And so if you kind of look at the budget that I gave you guys earlier, not this final budget, but each fund has a carryover balance. So if you don't spend it, it just goes back into that fund. So that'll be there. Yep.
I mean, I just wondered, so we didn't spend all of next year's road budgets finish what we started already.
Yep, it'll be in there.
I think potentially the road on the mountain and the one by Tracy's house could be carried over, potentially.
Yes.
And 99th could now be too.
Yep.
Possible. All right.
So that will, what we didn't spend this year will carry over next year.
Part of that 75% carryover allocated funds, like for the PSE center and stuff, that doesn't count towards that 75% then, right?
No.
It's general.
If it's allocated to a project, then it doesn't
No, doesn't count.
count.
That's right. It can be allocated. All right, so if you guys want to go over the expenditures first, we'll just, if you want to go department by department, in 2025, the governing board, which is the Board of County Commissioners, the budget was I'm just going to estimate, I'm not going to, was 213,000. This year it'll be 230,000. That's due to travel and the increased salaries. And also I want you guys to know too, because of this decision that was made today, some of these numbers will go down as well because the salaries will go down. So that is an increase of 18,340 for the governing board. The clerk of court, last year they were 157.4. This year they'll be 167,800, which is an increase of $7,000. Again, that is due to salaries and increases with like equipment and things, maintenance, things like that. Salaries, again, it'll be lower. Auditor treasurer, last year we were 329,000. This year will be 348. That is due to salaries, professional fees, and postage. Postage is a big thing for the auditor's office and the tax director this year because new legislative rules on what we have to mail out. State's attorney, they were 444,000 last year. This year, they'll be 491,000.
So I have a question on that.
Yep.
So we have a letter from Pat Merriman
Yes.
explaining a contract. He's a contract attorney. And I think we need to look at, if he doesn't fall on our pay scale or anything like that. And he's asking in his contract, $8,000 per month.
He's currently at 6,000, which is 72,000 a year. His new contract in 2026, he is asking for 8,000 a month or 96,000 a year. 96,000 is, I believe, roughly what Ross Sundin was making when he left. And Pat Merriman is doing the same things or more than Ross was. Just a little information for you. So you guys will need to approve that. I did build his contract into the state's attorney's budget.
Okay.
I don't know if, do you
want
guys?
to do that now, or do we want to continue?
Let's continue with our budget.
Okay.
So is Brian on? Do we need to break? Or should we continue? Guess continue.
Okay. The recorder's office is 370,000 last year. This year they are reducing to 366,000, so they are reducing by $4,000. Superintendent of schools, 3,250 last year, and this year no increase. Tax equalization, last year they were 220,000, this year they will be 228. That is also due to postage and new software programs that we've had to purchase. Human resources, last year was 144,000, this year they will be 155,000. That is due to salaries and training. And there was some question on that. I just want to let people know within the human resources budget is training for all department heads as well as annual training. Communication specialists, last year they were 111,000. This year they'll be 188. They have a new employee. Custodian, last year was 324,000. This year they'll be 355,000, a difference of 31,000. Again, now they have 4 employees in that department rather than 3, and they're all full-time. Elections, this year was 4,250. We had no election. That's just for incidentals. Next year it will be close to 58,000 to run the election. Retirement and FICA, that's gone up 250,000. That's just due to employees and rates. Social services, indirect costs, that's gone down. Most of those are now billed directly to social services. Non-departmental, that is all things like our computer programs, longevity, our dues, WDEA dues, state dues, that kind of thing is what runs in non-departmental. Young Farmers Grant is also in there. That's gone up about 478,000, and that is due to the Young Farmers Grant. So total.
How come that's not under JDA?
Because we give it to them, and then we take it out of our GPT dollars, so it has to be on our budget as an expenditure, and then we pay JDA, and they pay the young farmers through that. So we have done an increase from last year of roughly $1 million. Public safety, sheriff, last year was 2.9. This year they're 3 million. That is due to salaries and professional fees and training. The coroner, 18,000 last year, 22 this year. His call charges went up, so he increased $3,000. Risk management was 9,500 last year, and this year it stays the same. Health officer, 2,750 last year, and this coming year it stays the same. 911 coordinator last year was 9,500. This year it's down. It's 8,500, so that's a reduction of $1,000. So total public safety, an increase of 132,000 on expenditures. Conservation and economic development, Roosevelt Custer, 11,450 last year, and this year it stays the same. Planning and zoning was 128 last year and 132 this year, with an increase of 4,500. That will go down due to the salary decision you guys made. JDA, 180 last year, 179 this year. It'll go down $1,000. The Fair Board always gets 1 mil per century code. Last year, our mill was worth $93,434. This year, it will be roughly $99,233. So they've gone up $5,800 for the mill. So total for economic development and conservation has gone up $9,000. Property and liability insurance last year was $270,000. This year is $300,000, and there has been rate increases in insurance. So the subtotal for the general fund last year, where we were at 11.3 million, this year we're at 12.5. Total increase of 1.1 million. We are only 15% of the budget, and that will go down due to the salaries. Transfers from the general fund into other funds. This is also where we take care of some of our surplus, so we can kind of help other departments. Road and bridge transfer last year was 40 million. This year we're transferring 25 million. VSO 20,000 last year, and this year no change. JDA, we were 130 last year. We're going down to 120,000 this year. That's a decrease. Emergency manager, we are transferring 75,000. We did last year as well, no change. The weed control, we will, last year we transferred 100,000 to their budget. This year we'll transfer 150. And buildings and grounds, this is also where they get their budget from. So 300 last year, 300 this year, no change. So roughly in the grand total of the general fund budget, we are down $13 million from last year.
So those transfers, really, what that does, transferring out that gross production tax, is those are funds where we could levy more for road and bridge, we could levy more for veterans, JDA, all of those funds. So, you know, it just shows how important the gross production tax is, keeping our mill levies down.
Alrighty, so now to the special funds, the road. We were at 56 million last year, and Terry and Al worked really hard at getting this down. So now we're at 47 million. So that's down 9.2 from last year, and that will go down more due to the salary decisions. The Regional Correctional Center, last year they were 277,000. This year they're 280. So we were up 3,000. County Parks, 65,000 last year. We are up to 168 this year, which is an increase of 103,000. And that is due to the projects that they want to do, but you guys passed a motion that they would need to come and pre-approve those before. So we decided to leave that in there. So if you guys approve those projects, the money's there for them. Emergency fund didn't change from last year. 150,000 this year. VSO was 50,000 last year, went to 53 this year, an increase of 3,500. That will go down again. County agent, 187 last year, 199 this year, increase of 12,000. Weed control, 514 last year. They'll go up to 545 this year. That is due to a lot of the chemicals. Jamie and Kane were telling me there's an increase in chemicals, so that'll be up a little bit. Emergency manager, 129 last year, 130. She went down to 122,000, so that is $7,000 lowered. Building funds, they were 286 last year, so we budgeted 300,000 again this year. capital projects, we are at 9.2 this year and 9.2 next year. There is a,
19?
yeah, 19, I'm sorry, thanks, Tracy. So there is a decrease of like 2,700 there, but pretty much the same. Southwest District Health, 317,000 last year, 330,000 this year, an increase of 12,000. Soil conservation, we're at 194 last year. They're asking for 200,000 this year, an increase of 6,500. Historical Society gets $250,000 by Century Code. Last year was 23,000, this year's 24. The Airport Authority, 187,000. This year it's 198,000, and that's due to the value of the mills. The programs for senior citizens, which is totally reimbursed by the state. Last year we were at 31,000. This year we'll be at 40,000, but again, that's reimbursed by the state. JDA is 99,000 last year, 117 this year. So we're also down 9 million in the special revenue funds. So total funds with transfers, we're down 22 million. If you take the transfers out, we're down 2.8 million from last year. So we are down for expenditures. And I'd like to thank all the department heads for really digging in and making some changes. They're very fiscally responsible with their department money and everything that they're budgeted. So I would like to thank them. There is a couple things I wanted to ask for changes. Sarah Dutenhefner called me this morning for emergency manager, and you guys did pass last week for the new sirens and the maintenance agreement. So for Sarah's emergency manager, I would have to add in another $9,500 in her budget so that she can make sure that we have the money in there to pay for that. But we're still fine from the preliminary budget because we went so far down on our road budget. So our overall budget will not go up. Just so you guys know that. I would like permission to add that. And also, the Water Resource Board has asked for some money to run their meetings. And I don't know, Dave, if you want to, they had asked for 50, but I don't know if you want to amend that. We can take that money too out of our state aid. So we can take that out of some of our state aid money. That won't affect anything really on the budget, but I do need approval. So I don't know, before we move on, if you guys would like to approve the water resource and the annual sirens maintenance and the state's attorney's, Pat Merriman's contract.
Say the three things again.
Okay, so the state's attorney's contract would go up from 72,000, or assistant state's attorney, I'm sorry, would go from 72,000 to 96,000 for his contract. And then we would need to add $9,525 to the emergency managers fund for the sirens. And then if we could take $50,000 out of state aid and move it to the Water Resource Board for their department meetings. And
I would look for a motion.
Now, do we need to have in there about the park board must come for approval?
That, we already did that last meeting.
Yeah.
That's approval before they do the projects, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to these three, state's attorney, water resource, and the sirens, whatever that amount is, to be added to the
Second.
26 budget.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Heiser, seconded by Commissioner Kleeman to approve the changes as presented. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Polton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dolzall?
Yes, the motion carries.
Okay, so we will go on to the revenue.
Ryan, I wonder. Executive session.
Oh, you want
Well, Brian, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Do you have a few minutes yet, or? are you
I,
running?
I can, yeah, that's fine. How many
Okay.
minutes are we thinking?
Maybe 10.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
Yep.
So then we'll move on to revenues. So as you can see by our revenues, we don't have the current tax money in there. That's because that's what we're kind of deciding today with our budget. So we need to talk about those mills, but we can do that after. So for the general fund total taxes, I kind of estimate them to be the same as last year. Last year, they were delinquent. We got 1,800 in. I'm just estimating 2,000 this year. Mobile homes was 31. This year, I'm estimating 27. Overpayment of taxes, we don't really get any overpayments on taxes. So I just budgeted $50. So that total of taxes would be 4,750. Right now, our current, we do 5 mills for the general fund. And due to all of the legislation and budgetary things that are going on with that, my suggestion is just to leave them at 5 mills for the general fund. So just keep that in mind. Don't go up on them. Beer and liquor licenses, we roughly get $1,200 in a year from that. It's going to be the same. Other permits and building permits, that all has to do with planning and zoning and some on the road. So estimated of 56,000.
Can we more or less get rid of charging for building permits?
There is some, but Sandy is thinking that we're still going to have quite a bit of building permits. So she asked me.
Because I think it was up to a certain amount.
Yeah,
Something
and
over
then
that, it's gonna get overages.
then over. So she asked me to leave it. Yep. And as you know, oil and gas, that is just kind of an up and down, ebb and flow thing. Last year was, for 25, I estimated 38 million, which I think we're going to be on budget. Estimated a little low next year for 32 million. I'm hoping that's wrong and we'll be closer to the 38 million. But for now, I think we're safer going down on that one. The district court reimbursement last year was 213,000. This year will be 247. Overpayments retained. Again, we don't really retain overpayments, so just put $50 in there. Assisted living tax was $750. Same again this year. We don't do COVID relief anymore. State aid, we get from the state probably 800,000. But instead of putting that all into the general fund, we take parts of that and put it into different funds to help them supplement their departments. So out of that this year, I'm estimating we'll get 30,000 into the general fund. Homestead credits, roughly 750 each year. Indirect costs for social services, again, that's kind of the same. 34 last year, 34,000, so I'm estimating 35 this year. Nothing for direct costs because we don't really, most of their bills are sent to them now, not through us. Telecommunications tax, we always get 7,826. So in the intergovernmental revenue, that's going to be roughly 32 million. Charge for services, clerk of court is roughly 3,000 each year. County recorder, they do tremendous, I think in 24 it was 348,000. This year I estimated 300,000, so I did the same for next year. I'm sure that will be higher. Auditor's office, we roughly bring in $500 each year selling the plat books. Sheriff's office fees, this year I did in 2025 I did 13,000, but they brought in 19 and 24, so I went with 15,000 for 26. Uniform permit fees, that is also kind of one of those ebb and flow things. Last year I estimated 1.6 million. This year I estimated 1.5. overweight fees, last year I estimated 50,000, this year 30,000. And then for donations, 1,500. And then police contracting, we have with Dodge, Dunn Center, and Halliday, that brings in 72,000 a year. So that is revenue of 1.9 million for charge of services. Then miscellaneous revenues, interest income, as you know, the interest is still high, but again, they're talking about lowering those. In 2025, I estimate 3.4 million, but in 26, I went down to 3 million. The rent, and that's on the county mobile home, that will be 7,000. Other just miscellaneous items, I went 25,000. The payroll refund for JDA, 130,000. Refunds like rebates on the credit card, WSI rebates, different things like that. I did 15,000, but I think it'll be higher. It'd probably be close to 20,000. Oil royalty payments, I estimated 40,000. And then we moved crew housing from Fund 40 into the general, to miscellaneous revenues, so 3.2 million there. Any property insurance refunds would be about 20,000. So total general revenue is 37.6 million. Unorganized, unorganized special roads, we moved that, if you guys remember, the state asked us to move that into road and bridge, so that is moved down. Again, delinquent taxes, 2,500, mobile home, 2,500, homestead credit, 750, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, each year we get 2,598, PILT payments, 30,000, Bankhead Jones, I put 75,000, but I think it's going to be higher again. Like this year, we got 526,000, and that is for federal lands that are within our county. So that could go up again as well. Flood control has been really high the last couple years, but again, you don't know. So I kind of went lower on that at 400,000. Highway tax distribution, which is also part of money from the state, that's 750,000. Then the oil and gas production that goes, we put that right into the road so they could use that for salaries, and that's 200 million. Oh, 2 million, sorry, geez, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Wow. Telecommunications, we get 2,429 each year. Sale of road and materials, I have 35,000, and that's for like scoria days and different things that the road does. Sale of assets, I put 1,000, but as we know, we just had this will go into this year, but we did just have the auction. And then other revenues, I have at 70,000, so a total of 3.3 million for road and bridge. And the senior citizens, that 40,000, that is what's going to take care of the 40,000 that we give to them. We get reimbursed again from the state each year. The Southwest Correctional Center for delinquent taxes, mobile home taxes, things like that, that'll be roughly $1,250. And I also put some state aid in there, so 51,000 for them. County parks, put the user fees from the park, we put 10,000. State aid, I put 200,000 in there, but I will move some of that back to, because you guys didn't approve that much in the budget, I will move some of that back to the general fund, but 210,000 for that parks. In the veteran service officer, from taxes and state aid, 20,000. The county agent from taxes and state aid will be roughly 76,000. Weed control, taxes, state aid, and farmer cost share will be 161,000. Emergency services, state grants they get each year is roughly 50,000. And then for the capital projects, because we don't know about oil royalties, I put 5 million. It could be more. That's just kind of what just so you guys know too, again, I did reach out to them again and was told basically the same thing about the backup that I requested. It's a federal program and they don't have to provide backup. So for all revenue next year will be roughly 46.5 million.
Are there any questions on what Sally presented?
Madam Chair, one thing, Jesse brought it up to me, we have some seasonal workers, we want to add that 75 cents to their wages too.
We'll need to.
Or just,
Yeah, I mean,
Finish this and then do that.
okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I guess I would, if there's no further questions or discussion, I'd look for a motion to approve the final budget as presented.
Also move.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Pelton, second by Commissioner Heiser to approve the 2026 final budget. Any other discussion? I just would point out that our clerk of court budget and recorder budget, the fees almost offset the total cost of those budgets, so. Yeah. Sure.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but this last legislative session, all the filing fees, all the court fees doubled. So we don't get the filing fees, the state of North Dakota does, but when it comes to the clerk's office and what I recoup, we collect $25. It's a victim witness fee. It goes into a special fund, and I'm not sure where that's at on here. But where it says clerk of court charges for services, that would be copy fees, and it would also be certification fees, and our certification fees went from $5 to $10. So all court fees basically doubled. So we don't recoup much, but our court facility, our contract more than pays for our budget.
Yeah.
So we don't bring in a lot, but it is covered.
Thank you, Lisa. So there's a motion on the table. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll have a roll call vote to
Commissioner.
approve the budget.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dolzall?
Yes, the motion carries. Okay, at this time, we will recess our regular meeting and reconvene in executive session with Attorney Brian Schmidt. So I guess I would ask everyone to step out of the meeting.
Need a motion for executive session.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay. Need a motion to enter executive session.
I so move.
Is there a second? Motion by Commissioner Olson, seconded by Commissioner Pelton to enter into executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. add the 75 cents per hour to seasonal workers. Roll call vote?
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson? Commissioner Phelps?
Yes.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes. Motion carries. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner Clayman, second by Commissioner Olson to adjourn. Meeting adjourned at, all in favor? Aye. Or is there any discussion on to continue? Aye, okay. Hearing no dissent, meeting adjourned at 11:23.